All right, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Be Inspired podcast where we're inspiring you to live the abundant life you deserve. Last week we had a awesome guest. Tonight I'm going to talk to you guys about leadership and what I learned from teaching my daughter how to ride her bike without training wheels. So, it started off challenging. It was real challenging because initially she was on the bike and we live on an incline, a little incline, not a big incline, but it goes down like a little slope. She was on the bike and I would hold the bike trying to carry her down so she could learn how to pedal and stuff like that. And then it finally hit me one day, which I'm going to share the videos as well, that why not just let her work on the first thing that's really important? And if anybody who's rode a bike before knows that balancing is a big factor of riding a bike. So in my mind, I was like, all right, cool. She don't have training wheels. She don't know how to balance. Let's work on balancing first. And just like that, we started about in February balancing. And you're going to see a video pop up of how she was just going down the street trying to wobble, jump off the bike versus now that she's now pedaling and getting around the neighborhood. Now she's trying to learn how to stand up and ride the bike. But first lesson I learned was you got to be able to put in the time and effort on your way to success. Because without the time and effort, without mastering your craft, you won't be able to achieve the level of success you want to achieve. So, for example, my daughter, every day after school, we would go outside. They have outside time just because they have a lot of energy and I let them go outside and run it off, whether it's riding scooter. Sometimes I work out with them. They flip the tire. They do sprints, push-ups, whatever we do, whatever we have planned for that day, we get it done. But after that, she goes and balance down the sidewalk. So for 3 or 4 weeks, consistently, all I had her doing was putting in the time, just 30 minutes a day, going down the sidewalk. And for you, you may be trying to get to your goal and not there yet. And I'm here to tell you, you just gotta put in the time. You gotta put in the consistent time and effort, whether it's 30 minutes a day, whether it's an hour a day, whether it's 3 to 4 hours a day of focused time, putting in learning your craft, whether it's fixing cars, whether it's riding a bike, whether it's running, whether it's elevating your business to the next level, whatever it is, you just gotta put in the time consistently, all right? They say it takes 10,000 hours to finally be perfect at something. So you just got to put in those 10,000 hours, put in those reps, get those reps. If you want to be a Major League Baseball player, you got to put in those reps, those swings, make sure you're getting your swings in daily, starting from young. And that's what I would say I learned from teaching her to ride her bike was just putting in the time to become better every day. And that's the first lesson I learned actually. And then the second lesson I learned was just consistency. I alluded to it a little bit, but you got to be consistent. Jim Rohn once said, you can't get consistent results if you're not consistently working towards what you're trying to accomplish. So you can't expect to, in her instance, be riding the bike successfully if you go out one day, you do 2-3 minutes there, you do 4 minutes the next day. You have to consistently put in the time and effort to 100% get the results you want or get to the success you want, right? Which leads me to the next one. So we talked about time, putting in time. And then we talked about consistency. Now, the next one is discipline, right? Because you got to be consistent. You have to put in your time and you have to have discipline. Consistent self-discipline is something you need in order to get to your goal of success, right? So the discipline is waking up early. If you know you gotta go work out and you don't feel like it that day, you still get up and do it because you're disciplined. And that's what discipline is, doing it whenever you don't feel like it, right? So I think I posted a video one day last week. I was tired. I ain't gonna lie. And I was just like, you know what? Even though I'm tired, I still gotta get it in because everything you do in life affects the other. So if you're disciplined in your workouts and you're disciplined in that one area of your life, it flows over into other areas of your life. So if you're inconsistent, say in follow up calls, if you have a business, or if you're inconsistent in closing sales, then it's going to flow over into your workout routine, inconsistency there. So if you are disciplined in all areas of your life consistently, then, I mean, in one area of your life, you will consistently be disciplined in all areas of your life. So just being disciplined and getting it done is the third thing that I realized that really helped my daughter to achieve success in riding her bike. I would say the fourth thing is it's going to be painful. On your way to success, it's going to be painful, right? My daughter, once we started this, she's like, why do I have to do this? Why can't I just ride my scooter? And each day I was like, you got to do it. So even though she's crying and complaining and doesn't want to do it, you as a parent gotta understand that yes, it's your daughter. Yeah, you want to help them, but they have to be able to go through something hard to get to the reward, right? To get to the goal. So the goal was her riding her bike. If I had just left her, just stop doing it or give in to her complaints or just let her win the battle of not wanting to go down the sidewalk. Then guess what? She turned 8 today. So she'd have been 8 years old, not knowing how to ride her bike. I learned how to ride my bike at 7. Got this bad scar from it too. I don't know. I can't put my foot up here so you can see it, but this bad scar. I fell down. I was used to ride my bike every day to the other neighborhood. I live in East End, and then East End it was Tipperary. I live in Southeast Fancy, and then it was a place called Tipperary and Mount Washington. I used to ride my bike back there almost every day to just go play basketball or go play with the other neighbors that I used to ride the bus with. So one day I was riding down this road, doing my thing, going over to another neighborhood. Then all of a sudden I turned the bike wheel too fast. And then I just slide down the road and on top my knee, and I was just like, damn. That was the most painful thing ever. That's the painful fall I had. I had another fall too. I fell into barbed wire one time, but that one was the first one was the most painful one because you could have seen the flesh. And as soon as I got home and put peroxide on it, it was burning. But um, back to the story though about what I learned from teaching my daughter about success, right? So yeah, so if I had given to that, she still wouldn't have been able to ride her bike today. So you have to be comfortable in the pain when your children are complaining about it. And it was uncomfortable. I wanted to be like, it's okay, it's okay. But I didn't I didn't do that. I just said, hey, look, go down 2 more times. Let's go. You gotta do it. So she went down, crying and all, tears coming out her eye. But I was like, you gotta do it. So got through that portion. It's gonna be painful on your way to success. You're gonna have some early mornings. Life is gonna knock you in the mouth. There's a whole bunch of things that may happen on your way to success, but you have to be able to have the time, the discipline, the consistent discipline, and being able to go through those painful moments because on the other side of the pain is your success. So that's the fourth thing I learned, right? And before I go through the last one, I just wanted to stop real quick and let you guys know, if you're looking for a coach who would listen attentively and allow you space to think of your goals and what you really want to accomplish in life, go ahead and schedule a gifted session with me. The link will be below this video, so we can explore and help you get to your goals and so you can achieve what you want in life. All right. So the last thing I want to talk about is just persevere, man. Persevere. Persevere through it. Go through it. At the end, the reward is going to be great. So persevered through all of that, right? She went through the time she put in her time. She was consistent. She was going every day, doing it. She was disciplined. She was keeping her timeline every day for 30 minutes. So the last thing was just perseverance. And she persevered and she was able to get there. So when she first started pedaling, she was just like, Daddy, look, I did it. So I was like, okay, Kelsey, so was it worth the crying and the complaining that you were doing earlier? And she was like, no, it wasn't. And just like that, for her, it all made sense. In the moment, it's not gonna feel like it makes sense. You're probably like, why do I gotta post on social media 3 times a day? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to do that? Well, it's because it's the process, and you have to fall in love with the process in order to get to the result that you want. She wasn't in love with the process at all. None of it. None of it she loved. She didn't love anything about going down the sidewalk without pedaling. But the same thing with her scooter. This happened twice. It happened when I was teaching her about her electric scooter and when I was teaching her how to ride her bike. None of it. But soon as she were able to press the gas on her electric scooter or pedal the bike and watch her consistently go down the road pedaling, she was happy. And just like that, once you get to your success, it's gonna be worth it. And that's the 5 lessons I learned from teaching my daughter how to ride her bike. The 5 lessons of success that I learned. You just gotta put in your time consistently every day. Work at your craft. Whether if you want to write a book, start with a paragraph. Whether you want to be a coach, start coaching people. Put in the time. Whether you want to be a social media influencer or a business owner, whatever you want to do, go ahead and put in the time. Be consistent with it. Be disciplined about it. And yes, it's going to be painful on the journey, but you might as well get a reward from it, just like ET says. All right. So, guys, that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. If you love this episode of Be Inspired, go ahead and click like below. And if you want more of our content, just go ahead and subscribe to our channel. All right. So, thank you guys. And I hope you guys all have an awesome week. And we'll see you again next week, same time, same place on Be Inspired Podcast, where we're inspiring you to live your abundant life that you deserve and elevate your life. Have a great night. Signing off.